Ames Soccer Complex at Dakota County Technical College. The site is composed of 3 separate athletic fields used by various different soccer organizations in the area. All 3 fields are made up of mostly Kentucky bluegrass and perennial ryegrass. Despite much of the site being covered with these 2 species, there are evident infestations of annual bluegrass and crabgrass. The annual bluegrass can be seen as lighter green patches in the healthier portions of the grass. The soil test report concluded the following information. The soil has an estimated medium texture, which means it is a loam or silt loam. The pH is 7.4, which is a little high for optimum pH, but pretty common for soils in Minnesota. The 2 pieces of info that stick out are the high amounts of both phosphorus and potassium. The soil is also very compact due to the high usage during the summer months. Based on the soil test results for the fields, there is no need for phosphorus or potassium application at any time. The only nutrient needed to be applied in this circumstance is nitrogen. Nitrogen is extremely important for sports turf due to the high amount of use sustained. Based on the current fertilization plan, recommendations can be made to explore alternate plans. As far as nitrogen goes, suggestions can be made to apply more, but at lower rates. Michigan State University Turf Extension offers a few different plans for managing a sports turf field primarily made up of perennial ryegrass and Kentucky bluegrass. For the Ames Soccer Complex, we would recommend either nitrogen plan for the native soils. This program is set up to evenly feed the turf nitrogen in the spring when it is coming out of dormancy, then providing it at a higher amount when it is under the most stress during the college season of soccer. Nitrogen is the most important nutrient for sports fields, and a lot of times it is what the turf lacks the most of.
Plant growth regulators, PGRs, could also be considered into the management program. PGRs are not only useful for reducing the amount of mowing that has to be done, but they encourage lateral growth of the turf, in this case, the Kentucky bluegrass. For athletic field turf, mixing PGRs with line paint can be a big advantage. Primo, for example, can be mixed with paint in order to greatly reduce the frequency of repainting lines in the fields. Mowing height should be slightly raised in the summer months to protect the roots and maintain a dense stand of turf. Since the optimal temperatures are not present during this time, increasing mowing height by even a quarter or half inch can help maintain a healthy root system. The height should then be lowered in the fall to prevent diseases from developing during the winter months. Be sure to continue to change mowing patterns on a regular basis to prevent wear damage from the equipment. With the use of the fields being extremely high during all growing months of the year for the turf, it's extremely difficult to repair areas that sustain great damage during the season. Continuing to shift the fields as much as possible is in the best interest of the field's overall health. Evening out the wear as much as possible is very important. As far as aeration, top dressing, overseeding, and sodding, a few changes could be made. Aeration should be continued at the every other month interval to ensure that compaction is reduced. Once the season has subsided in the fall, it's very important to aerate again since the turf has optimal growing temperatures. Sodding the bare spots in the fall may be the most effective way to produce healthy turf when the spring rolls around. More sand-based soils are preferred for sports fields due to their good drainage and low compaction qualities. If the field is primarily clay-based, which in this case it is, compaction and drainage can be a big issue, which seems present among the 3 fields. It's extremely difficult to change the soil texture without removing the entire top 3 to 6 inches of topsoil. Dormant seeding in the fall should be continued, but with a slight change in cultivars. For cultivar selection for perennial ryegrass and Kentucky bluegrass, it's important to choose ones that will perform best in Minnesota. The current Arctic Green perennial ryegrass cultivar was ranked 30th overall in Minnesota based on the cultivar evaluation results of 2012 from the U of M Extension Service. However, Arctic Green is the best commercially available cultivar. Be on the lookout for improved cultivars of perennial ryegrass in the near future to minimize the future risk of rust. For Kentucky bluegrass, instead of using Guinness or Princeton, we suggest to use one of the top-rated cultivars from the 2011 National Turf Evaluation Program for Minnesota. One of these cultivars is Blue Note. It's noted as having excellent color, density, texture, and high use tolerance. Its high recommendation for use on sports fields makes this cultivar an excellent choice for Ames soccer complex. With the annual budget given, some perfect solutions to the problem are too far out of reach, like completely renovating with artificial turf. We have concluded that the best management changes for staying within the budget include overseeding with improved cultivars of Kentucky bluegrass, modifying nitrogen applications to have more frequent but lower rates, improving the timing of aeration, and lastly, improving the top dressing program. We hope that these recommendations can be taken into consideration for the future improvement of the Ames Soccer Complex at Dakota County Technical College.